Today we're speaking with Ilia Mack. Ilia is from St. Louis, where she was denied a personal loan, and the lender recommended that she check out Money Management International to help with her debt. Through consolidation and negotiating lower rates, Ilia was able to pay off $20,000 in debt in just 3 years. Ilia, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Adam. How are you?
Well, I'm so excited to talk to you, to hear your own story. Every story is unique and always inspiring to me. And so I love to get to do this and talk to people like you that have done amazing things. So let's start with you. Tell us a little bit more about who you are and what your days look like.
Well, first of all, that intro was amazing. I'm like, wow, who did all that? That's, oh my God, I got to meet her. She's so cool. So, first,
No doubt.
Second of all, I am now 43. My daughter is an adult. She's in college, so I get to support a slightly independent adult. And I say slightly, so you know what that means.
Yep.
My days look like I go to work. I work remote, so I get to be in an awesome house. You see the background. I did the wall. Yay. And I love what I do. And I get to do that. A lot of it is because of money management. I've recently started a business, and I'm starting to get that off of the ground, and I'm so excited about that. That's also remote. So I'm excited about what that's going to entail, what I'm going to get to do with that. And I get to hang out with friends and actually eat with them. I don't have to just, order water and say, oh, no, I ate, before I came.
Right.
And I really didn't.
Yeah.
Those days. So I've come a long way from, when I first called you guys to today. Today, I'm having a blast. My life is fun. I'm enjoying the rain. The rainy days are fun. MMI has just, it changed my life and changed how I look at finances and money. So that's where I am today.
That's amazing. I mean, you've gone from debt and struggling with a loan to starting your own business and really enjoying your life. I love hearing that. That's really, really encouraging. So, but let's talk a little bit more about your debt. Do you mind sharing like kind of where it came from and tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. At the time I bought a house, I changed jobs, got in a little bit of increase. So that was awesome. But I bought a house and I had savings. I actually had savings, but I wanted to fix up on my house. Unfortunately, it cost more than I realized. So I already had credit cards at the time. I used the credit cards, and up until then, I always had a plan. I was not going to spend anything on the credit cards that I couldn't pay off, and I had a plan to do that. Well, time went on, and I couldn't pay down the credit cards, and then things just spiraled after that. For a while, I had things under control. I was paying the debt down, and I had a groove going with the bills. We were getting a footing. I had like 3 or 4 credit cards at the time. I actually paid one of them off, and I was headed towards the second one, doing the snowball thing, right?
Right.
And then, of course, I got a squatter. And what I mean by that is I got a raccoon in my attic. So panicked, and my daughter was here at the time. I called the exterminators. Well, they charged me about $5,000. Now everyone is telling me now, oh, that should have only cost you a couple hundred. Well, $5,000 later, thank you for telling me that.
Right. Yeah.
So while I was in the midst of paying off, fixing up my home to get into my dream home, and I'm still in it today, by the way, I tacked on that, but I had to take out a loan to do that.
Right.
That tipped the scales. And during the last recession, I actually did file bankruptcy and I lost my house. I didn't want to do that again. Now, this happened before this current recession. So I didn't want to go back. I had momentum with my credit score was going up. I was paying down my credit cards, got a new job, making more money, making momentum. I didn't want to I didn't want to go back to bankruptcy. I didn't
Mm,
want to take my score. I didn't want to go through that. I was scared.
right.
And everything, you Google everything, and it either tells you one of two things: you're going to die if you Google symptoms, or it tells you apply for every credit card there is known to man,
Mm,
get a loan, and there's money everywhere, right?
right. Yeah.
Wrong.
Mm,
I applied for a personal loan. Of course, they asked you what's the loan for, and I said debt consolidation. They said, well, you
right.
have too much debt to consolidate. And I'm like, what?
Mm, yeah.
That doesn't make sense. But
Right.
so the guy on the phone told me, he said, I went through this company called MMI Money Management. He gave me your information. I've heard the loans, I've heard bankruptcy, but I've never heard of anything like your program. I've heard of money falling from the sky. You win the lottery, you fake your own death.
Let's not plan on that.
Exactly, so you see the options that I had, and I didn't see a way out. So he gave me your information. I asked him all questions, and then I called you guys. You guys actually picked up the phone. It was a live person. It wasn't a leave a message and we'll get right back to you. No, you picked up the phone. They all answered my questions with empathy.
Mm,
They didn't judge me. They didn't. Well, look, are you gonna sign up? Because we have other call. They didn't.
mm,
They weren't impatient. They were patient with me. They didn't rush me. They gave me my options. I've even had a couple of phone calls where I hung up and they called me right back and said, "Hey, you know what? We came across other information that may be beneficial to you." So I felt like I was not just a number to MMI. You guys actually cared. I was worried about, well, if I have to pay this monthly,
right.
what about the extra fee? I understand business. You guys need to get paid, and you should, for your services. Am I going to be able to afford this if I can't pay, all my creditors?
Mm,
No, here's our amount. They
right.
reassured me.
Right.
And then of course COVID happened. I lost my job during COVID. They actually allowed me to change my payment plans from a big monthly payment to biweekly when I got paid, because I got
Mm,
direct deposits.
right.
They allowed me, and when my income, it wasn't even half, it was less than half because I was working part-time. I
Mm,
never missed a payment. And but I did ask, I said, what are my options? And they
right.
said, if
Right.
you need to pause, we're that's available. I never even asked for that option. I was still able to make all my payments. I never missed a mortgage payment. And I actually paid off all of that, like you said, early. I think I was on a
Mm.
5-year plan.
What?
I was on a 5-year
Oh man, you
plan.
paid it off. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So when you said that, I paid all of that in
Yeah.
3 years, losing my job,
Yeah.
losing my job, and still, and there, like I said, it took a while for me to get back on my feet. It took me 3 years to
Mm,
get back to pre-COVID status.
yeah.
And I never missed a payment and paid all that off early. It felt amazing. It felt surreal. And people kept asking me, well, how does it feel? You can make this. Again, that was another phone call where you guys called me back. I said, hey, I'm making an extra payment. If it doesn't pay everything off, let me know. I got a call back in like 5 minutes. And I forget these ladies. You guys are awesome. It's so many of you. And she said, no, you're done. I'm like, what do you mean I'm done? I only paid this one off. I know there's something left. I think it was maybe like 21 cents left that I didn't pay. She says, no, you're done.
Mm.
You are done. And I'm like,
And how did that feel?
I, it didn't catch up. I'm just being really transparent right now because so many people have asked me that. I haven't felt it yet because it feels surreal.
Mm,
And I see it on my credit score, things are closing, things are paid off now. And even that took a while. It feels surreal because I think I can just remember feeling scared,
mm,
not seeing the end of the tunnel. I just could never see the end of the tunnel.
mm.
But now that I'm on the other side of it, it's like, I think to accurately answer that question, there have been times during that where I just imagine myself not having this debt over me.
Right.
And that felt amazing. And I imagine what I would do with the money, like I said, the lessons that I learned that you guys taught me, talked me through. And I celebrated then. So now that it actually happened, it's hard for me to kind of feel in the moment, I guess, because
Yeah.
I already felt it back then, but
Yeah.
it still feels kind of, but like I said, when you said it in the intro, it's like, it still is like, wow.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I, I, I
No, that's
just
great. That's great.
remember,
I mean,
yeah,
you did say, you did say you can go order dinner with your friends. So that's an improvement.
exactly.
You're not drinking water when you're going out with friends. You can go order some dinner. That's great. So,
Right.
well, so I wonder, you talked a lot about MMI and the process and the empathy. And I wonder, like, is there any specific lesson that you learned through this process? Any real like takeaways that you'll carry on with you as you go into your entrepreneurial venture and everything else?
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, the fact that I can do it. Number one, walking into the situation, I didn't know that I had options, and you guys taught me that there's there's options. There's people out there that are there to help, and the company that I'm starting, even though it's along the lines of what I already do because I love what I do, I want to be able to help like you guys did. I want to create something, even in my sector, that can provide like you guys did because what you guys gave back to me, like you gave me my life back. And it's just, I want to be able to do that for people. Like I said, I can remember being scared. And right now I'm just living in the moment that I'm free. And I'm not, what you guys gave me, I'm not afraid anymore. And that's what you taught me. I don't have to be afraid anymore. So now, even if I see that, I'm not jumping into it, by the way, like, oh my God, give me all the credit, give me
Right.
all the debt. But I see debt now and I'm not afraid of it anymore because you guys taught me that I can do it,
Mm,
manage it responsibly,
mm.
you know, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's not hopeless.
As long as you're walking out of the tunnel, there's light at the end of it, right? And that's the
Absolutely
goal. That's
is.
the goal, right?
And as long as you keep going one
Mm,
step at a time, one day at a time,
yeah,
you
that's
guys
it.
you guys taught me that.
Mm, yeah, it's all about one step, one foot in front of the other, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about kind of just consumer debt in general, right? Like it's super common, um, far too common, I think. I wonder,
Yeah.
like, how do you think debt counseling nonprofits like MMI can help sort of break that stigma and can help people overcome those things?
So it's a common misconception, these debt consolidation loans,
Mm,
that they actually consolidate debt. The reality is they just shifted from one to another with the interest rates.
mm,
And what I learned, because like I said, I personally ask a lot of questions in which I ask you guys. I know as a business, you guys need to get paid for your service. What most people don't ask when they see debt consolidation is people need to get paid for their service. So when they get these consumer loans or they get credit cards or whatever it is for these purposes, they're not thinking of it as a business. They're thinking of it as, I need money to take care of a situation. If they look at it as a business, they'll understand that somebody somewhere needs to get paid. And then if they then do their calculations, if I have, let's say, $10,000 worth of debt, most people look at, like, say, a credit card. I'm going to pay this, and the credit card says 0% interest. Well, how long does that last? But what about other fees? Those are things that people don't ask. And then they get surprised, and then, oh my God, it's out of proportion. Or they have this debt and then they transfer it. Well, if you transfer it for debt consolidation, that consolidation now owns that debt. If you do that from a credit card, what some people have done is now they have a free credit card and then they start spending that credit card. So now you've got double the debt.
Well, Ilia, you're an inspiration. Really appreciate the work that you put into this. Just last question here. Other than ordering your food at a restaurant, what does freedom from debt look like for you?
It looks like I get a bill. I get my house note. I get my electric bill. That's not due to the end of the month. I get my phone bill. That's not due to the end of the month. I get to pay it immediately. I get to, and I'm weird like that. I like to, because I don't like to see that I still owe something. I get to look at my paycheck and see that I still have an entire paycheck coming and all my bills are already paid for the month. I have a savings account now. And I have money in that account now.
That's great.
When I go out to eat, I haven't touched that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great.
I don't have to give up on the things that help me have an amazing day every day. I enjoy going to work. I don't have to give that up to pay down my debt.
That's right. Right.
And I have the same income that I did when I joined you guys. Well, I don't, but
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm doing some extra things, but
That's great.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have to make an extra $10,000, $20,000 to be able to say that. That's what you guys taught me. And I think that that's what's missing from the consumer debt conversation. It's always whatever it is that you enjoy out of life, let's get rid of that so you can pay off your debt. It's never, let's see how we can shift. And you need to be saving before you can enjoy life. You know, it's never that. It's let's see how we can fit your life and pay off your debt. Because you guys, I did that with you guys. So
yeah, that's great. That's really encouraging and really impressive. Ilia, $20,000 in 3 years. Congratulations to you, and thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
This guest is a real MMI client whose success is the result of hard work and dedication. While MMI cannot guarantee results, taking early action can increase available options and improve long-term outcomes. Thanks for listening to this episode of Long Story Short, brought to you by Money Management International. To learn more about how MMI helps people from all walks of life get unstuck and out of the vicious cycle of debt through personalized solutions that inspire hope, visit moneymanagement.org. This episode was produced by Edgewise.media. Script writing and production by Clara Jennings, editing by Brandon Ellis, and show hosting by me, Adam Walker.